In my last video, I mentioned DSP's personal WWE Champions account down from the rafters. However, I did say it was not certain that it was his account. However, seemingly to make me look like an idiot, DSP just admitted that the account is his. Well, that's not a huge shock. Anyone who has been following DSP knows that was his account. What's more shocking is that he finally decided to part with the lie he's been telling for years. Or I should say, multiple lies. It started with him claiming he had no idea what WWE Champions was. Then he said he knew what it was, but he didn't play it. But actually, he then says that he played the older version of the game, but not the current one. Then, he actually did play the current one, but he stopped a few years ago. Then he said he had a personal account that he's been playing for years. And finally, the train comes to the station with the admission that Down from the Rafters is his personal account. So a better question is, why does this matter? What did we learn from this? As I mentioned before, the fact that Down from the Rafters is DSP's personal account isn't any sort of revelation. The fact that DSP constantly lies is not a revelation. The fact that DSP is an addict, especially after his first WWE Champion stream, should not come to a surprise as anyone. However, what I think will surprise some people is the reaction from his dents. And when I say dent, I mean people who blindly support DSP. There's a very loyal group of, I don't know if you even call them fans, very loyal group of people that DSP was able, probably through sheer luck rather than any skillful planning, arrange as a shield around him, protecting him financially from any sort of issues he would have with his career. I don't know, such as lying for decades about parts of his past, or more recently, lying about things such as not knowing what Discord is, until Discord messages were leaked in a mod chat showing that he had a Discord and regularly participated in it, or more recently, that the Down from the Rafters account is his. Now, as I was going through YouTube, doing some research on this topic, seeing what other people had to say, I saw a lot of videos talking about what's going to happen next. How is DSP's fans going to react? What's going to happen? Are people going to stop donating to him? And ultimately, to me, that kind of felt pointless because nothing's going to change. That's the only constant about DSP and his channel. Because of his constant lies, the only thing that you can count on is that nothing is going to change. His retarded dents, some literally, will continue to spend their parents' money and their disability checks on Phil. He's going to continue to beg. He's going to beg for money for rent, for food, for electricity, for internet, and for taxes. He's going to get more than enough money for those. Then he's going to continue to beg for more money because he needs more polls. Ultimately, this just confirms more than anything that DSP is more than aware of the amazing situation he tripped himself into. Despite his content being bad, both from an objective and subjective view, despite his constant lies regarding anything from his feelings to his begging to his past to whatever you want to bring up, despite how poorly he treats those same dents who give him more than enough money to live comfortably out of the kindness of their heart, he will continue to lie, to scam, to cheat his way into more money so that he can feed his WWE Champions account, so that he can feed his alcoholism, so that he can feed his delusions of not being a hated creator online. And this is never going to change. As long as he has this fundamental base of support that he can insulate himself in, build a wall around, he doesn't have to change. He doesn't have to be better. He can continue to go and sniff the pubes of the Kino Casino. He can continue to prostrate himself in front of Keemstar, despite for years calling Keemstar disgusting, saying how he makes blood money and how DSP would never, ever endorse or interact with him in a positive way. He's going to continue to be a chameleon, constantly changes, while at the same time continuing to tell people his lack of success is caused by him not changing and sticking to his roots. Those roots must be pretty shallow, considering how often he changes his style, his opinions, and the people that he associates with. Despite all the begging and the lying, like fake panhandlers, despite being called out for it, despite being publicly humiliated, he'll be back tomorrow holding up his sign, asking for more money for rent, for taxes, for food, for the next emergency, and a significant amount of that money will be funneled into WWE Champions. Now, both on his public account, which he uses for his streams, and his private account. While he is an idiot, he did find a way to get even more money to feed his WWE Champions addiction by creating a separate account to drop hundreds of dollars a day on. But the reason I made this video, went off the cuff for this, was not because of the revelation of the Down from the Rafters, or the fact that his dents will continue to support him no matter what. It's because of a specific quote that he made. Quote, "Things I was doing off stream was no one's business." End quote. Forgive the grammar. Again, I'm quoting DSP. I think that's very interesting. I think there are two ways to read this. One is more of a surface level reading, where DSP believes that just because he's not in front of a camera, that using the money that people give them, that he claims is for food, for rent, and for taxes on his addiction, is perfectly fine. But another potential option popped into my head. Again, I think I might be giving DSP too much credit here. But there is an opportunity that this is DSP going full mask off, just telling the world that he's going to spend money however he wants, that he knows what an excellent situation he stumbled his way into, and he's taunting people. He's taunting the few self-aware dents. He's taunting the former dents who gave so much money. He's taunting other live streamers who produce significantly higher quality content, put significantly more work into their content, but will never get the financial support and live as easy a life as DSP does off of his live stream contributions. And of course, he's taunting his detractors, who for years have been trying to tell people to steer clear of DSP, to expose his scamming, his underhanded scheming tactics, his bullshit, and his overall scummy behavior. As I mentioned before, like fake panhandlers, that doesn't go through. It's in one ear and out the other. As long as DSP can go to Total Wine, drink more alcohol than one person should in a week, in a day, and continue to spend thousands of dollars on a match 4 game with a WWE skin over it, he's happy. It's rare, in my experience, to find someone so openly lacking any shame. This isn't a case of someone lying to a small community, to a few people at their work, to friends, or even to family. This is someone who scams, lies, and manipulates poorly, some extent, publicly on the internet, who has built a massive group of people who follow him specifically to hate him, whose audience is mostly negative, yet he pushes on, seemingly unaffected. However, now that I think about it, I assume a lot of that alcohol is to drown out the little voice in his head telling him what a piece of shit he is. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, not going to change anything. The dents will keep coming. They'll keep using their alt accounts and tipping him. They'll keep coming off stream and giving him more money. And he'll continue to live a comfortable life off of their disability checks and their parents' credit cards. Hopefully, something interesting happens soon. I don't know, maybe the Kino Casino will pull the rug back, reveal that they were buddy trolling DSP. Or maybe Keemstar will swindle DSP out of some money. Who knows? But I can't wait, because of course, it's Phil. He's always going to find some way to make it morbidly interesting. That's all I wanted to talk about. Again, just more of an off-the-cuff thing. Thank you guys again. Have a good night.